Hello everyone, welcome to my video. In this time, I'm going to explain some guiding techniques that a tour guide should master. After watching the video, I hope you get better understanding about effective guiding and also you can practice how to guide effectively. So, happy watching everyone. First of all, let's discuss about some reason why tourists need a tour guide. So, actually, travelers or tourists love to make sense of things around them, like how people live, why they live like that way, why they had been living that way, and how was the building built, and why people built that place, and etc. So, when they visit some places, they seek expert advice for effective guide to make sense of the destination visited. That is why they need tour guide here. And tour guide jobs not just to tell the visitors about the destination, but also help the visitor understand and feel the destination. The tour guide is therefore responsible for creating image and right context for the tourist. For being a good tour guide, she or he must master some guiding techniques when she or he is explaining about the destination. So what is actually guiding techniques? Guiding techniques is some ways, some methods to present information in different ways to different clients about the group management, about the safety, about clear indication, what we are looking at, awareness of surrounding, what to do and what not to do while taking a group around. So we are going to learn some techniques when we are guiding to make our guiding effective and efficient. A tour guide should enhance tourist experience as well. So, what are some ways to enhance tourist experience? The expert Moscardo in 1998 identified 3 ways in which tour guides can help the tourists to enhance the quality of their experience. The first one is providing information on available options so that tourists can make the best choice about what they do and where they go. And then the second one is providing information to encourage safety and comfort so that tourists know how to cope with and better manage and counter difficulties. For example, advice on the drinking water and also understand the message given by the warning signs. Do not smoke here. They have to take off their shoes before entering some places and etc. And the last one is creating the actual experience so that tourists can participate in activities such as heritage walks, adventure and visit art galleries, learn in areas of educational interest, cooking class, and etc. And the most important one for being a tour guide is you have to be positive, because we will experience some good time and bad times. You might be nervous when you are not mastering the destination, and there might be a difficult guest in the group who is continuously trying to let you down, make you angry. You might feel as if things are getting out of your control. So here, please control yourself. A professional guide will not let the circumstance influence your thoughts and moods. So here, I suggest you to be patient. Take a breath and don't take it personally. Then you are ready to guide in every situation. One of skills that must be mastered by a tour guide is, of course, communication skill, language proficiency. So what you have to do when you are guiding? The first one is avoid using highfalutin words. Use simple and easy understand words. Sometimes we will guide non-native speaker. So please make it the explanation simple with a simple words that can be understood easily by the visitors. And then the second one is use synonyms to explain, because sometimes there are some places or some term of thing that is written or spoken in Indonesia. So you can use synonym to explain or to describe something. For example, candi. So you can say candi is like a temple, or bakso. Bakso is meatball, something like that. So we still use our original words in explaining, but try to find the synonyms. And then the second one is use nonverbal communication in a difficult thing or situation. So sometimes when the visitors is out of your reach and you want to communicate something to them, you can use your nonverbal communication, such as if you want to say no, yeah, you can use your hands, or you can shake your head or nod your head when you want to tell them something. The next skill and techniques that you have to master when you are guiding is be prepared, study the destination. That's very important because what we are telling is about information about the destination. So you have to know very well about the destination. So you can follow these tips. The first one is plan your spiel or commentary. It should be structured. So here you have to plan before you speak. And then please always update the local or global news and also environmental issues. And then you can intercede when necessary in the interaction with the guest and the local. So sometimes the visitor want to have communication with some local. So if there's some problem or they find difficult to communicate with the local people, you can intercede them. And the last one is be aware on the basic human behaviors and attitude, because everyone has their own character. So not only about this destination that you should learn, but also some behavior, some human behaviors, and also attitude. Okay, and the next one is always make a head count before, during, and after the tour, especially on stop, because you are responsible to make the tourists keep together. So you have to count the visitors whenever you move to another place, yeah, to make it sure they still together. Well, my dear students, you can follow these steps to keep the tourists together. The first one is make resolution first. So you can make your own resolution and don't forget to share them. And the second one is check guests whenever moving. So you have to be aware about the guests moving. And you can remind them if they move too far from the group. And the next one is clear and loud voice for concentrating guests. So here you can speak louder. It's not because you are angry, but you won't make the guest more concentrate with your explanation. And the last one is using flag. So you have to tell them what is the function of the flag and what are some signs that you use to give the instruction to the tourists. So by follow the step, you can keep the tourists together. When giving tour commentary, you have to do some following tips for an effective tour commentary. The first one is start with greeting or introduction. And the second one is information should be delivered in a manner that would interest the guests. And the next one is sense of humor should be part of the delivery of information. And the last one is remember, commentaries help people understand and appreciate what they actually see. So you have to prepare the commentary before explaining. Make sure the commentaries are interesting enough to make them listen to you. These are some steps on how to make a commentary. The first one is begin with a smile, greeting, and introduction. And the second one is brief the guests about the tour for the day. And the next one is review the inclusions and exclusion of the tour. And the last one is give the distance and traveling time of the destination. The next technique in guiding is about positioning. So, when you are guiding, you are not allowed to stand in front of the object because you will cover the object from the visitors. And the next one is you have to stand next to the object. And your position should face to the group. And you have to make it sure the group can listen to you. That's the position from the guide. And now the question is where group should stand. A group here is a number of visitors. So the visitor should get the best view to observe the sights and make it sure the place or the spot for standing is saved. When the guiding is outdoor, you have to ask them to stand under shade or roof to avoid direct sunlight or rain. And you have to ask them to not being noisy and also not to make a trouble with other groups. And you can ask them as well to make suitable distance to the object. So you can look at the slide here. These are the best view to observe the site. Okay, now other techniques in guiding is using a microphone, right? So sometimes you use a microphone or megaphone or transmitter. So here I want to discuss about microphone. So before you use the microphone, you have to check it whether it is on or off. And then you have to get a good grade, stay calm and steady tone, and you can turn it together with your head. Then you have to check your audibility by asking the audience Is my voice clear? Something like that. And the next one is don't read the text from pages. It's okay if you want to bring a note, but you are not allowed to read often. Okay, now I would like to share some additional tips to make guiding more effective and efficient. The first one is when mentioning a name, whether it's name of place or name of building, a name of object, you can repeat it or spell it. Make it sure they can hear you. Make it sure they can remember the name. So after having trip, they can tell to other one that they have a very good experience with this kind of place, thing, or building. And then the second one is maintain silence if the need arises. So maybe because you have to focus to explain, yeah, so you can ask them to keep silent and listen to you, so they can really get what you are telling. And the next one is listen carefully to questions and other concerns. So whenever the visitor asks the question, you have to stop your explanation and listen carefully. And then the next one is never argue with the guest. So here you have to avoid conflict with them. You have to make a deal whether something happens or and find the win-win solution. And the last one is end your tour always by thanking the guest. So here you have to say thank you after you end the tour, after you explaining about the destination to the guest, so the guest will feel that they are appreciated. Finally, we come to the end of the stage in guiding, namely tour closing. What are the considerations that you have to do when you want to close the tour? Just check it out. These are the steps in closing the tour. The first one is start farewell statement. So you can use many kind of expression to say goodbye to them. And the second one is debrief the tour. So debrief the tour, it means that you can open Q&A session. So they can ask you about something that is not understood by them. And then the next one is collect the feedbacks. So here you can ask them to give feedback about your guiding. It can be spoken and also through questionnaire. And number 4 is remind, double check before leaving. You have to make sure that they will not leave their bag or their stuff in the destination. And then the next one is you have to say thank you and goodbye to them. Then the last one is reporting. Reporting here means that you have to report what you have done to the travel agent or someone that hire you. Talking about feedback rating, it can cover many things. For example, itinerary designing, about the service, about the local guide, and also the general comments. So they are free to give this kind of feedback to the tour guide. Okay, now let's talk about tips. At the end of the tour, sometimes the tourist will give you tips because you have make them satisfied. And what you have to do when you are accepting tips, The first one is you have to remember that tips is often non-compulsive and you are not allowed to suggest the tips. Then after accepting the tips, you have to accept it graciously, even small value or money. And don't forget to say thanks for the tourist tips. And the last one is the last job of a tour guide. It's tour reporting. So it is usually done through journal. You have to fill out some forms to report what you have done and what happened during the tour. It can be basic verbal reporting, writing a technical report, writing a customer report, giving back travel items, and associated cost claiming. So sometimes you have to spend your money because you have to take care of something, so you can claim the cost to the travel agent or someone who hire you. Okay, that's all about guiding techniques that you must master when you are guiding. I hope the information in this video can be useful for you to improve your guiding skill. Thank you for watching my video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.